inquiry, which came to its conclusion describing it as a genocide. It added, in fact, its conclusion to many other, I would say, scholars or NGOs, including Israeli NGOs, who basically concluded to the same. And it is true that Gaza today, people are experiencing hell in all its possible facets. It's quite common now today to hear in Gaza that people just dream to be able to properly die rather than to go through this suffering. It says a lot. I think during this week there have been also a few events where we were reminded about the fate of the children, the war on the children, the number of children, the highest number in the world of amputees, amputation taking place without sterilization, the fact that on a daily basis you have the equivalent of a full classroom of children dying, one every hour, 25, 28 on a daily basis. So I think it's very important to keep, expressing total outrage on what's going on. And of course, what part of our frustration is that this outrage has not yet been translated into meaningful action, putting an end to the atrocity that we are recording on a daily basis.
Undermine all humanitarian work in Gaza.
On one hand, we have a fabricated famine, a man-made famine in Gaza, and we have tons of goods waiting outside of Gaza. Only UNRWA as an agency, we have available the equivalent of 3 months of food covering the need of the population. And collectively we have shown during the last ceasefire that when there is a will, when obstacles are lifted, collectively we succeeded to reverse the tide and answer to the growing hunger in Gaza.
We'll now turn for questions. First, Abdul Hamid.
Now that we restore the humanitarian response as it was at the time of the ceasefire, it's grotesque that it has been replaced by a system for which the main objective is to support, in fact, military and political objective. Here I refer to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. And last but not least, a strong call to the member state to safeguard the mandate of the agency. You know that last week the New York Declaration was endorsed. It featured quite predominantly the role of UNRWA, and I think it is important that if ultimately we want to get rid of the agency, it's important that we genuinely and truly invest in peace, because the only alternative to an agency like ours are functioning, empowered, capacitated future Palestinian institutions within a two-state solution.
What would you say to President Netanyahu?
Put an end to this hell. We need to put an end. He is, when we talk about a deliberate or man-made famine, that means it can be addressed through a political decision. Now, the political decision is right now in his hand, or in the hand of anyone who can influence this decision. But that's number one. We need to put an end to these atrocities. We need to put an end to this war. We need a ceasefire. We need the release of the hostages, but put an end. I remain convinced that, Gaza can end through a decision. It's not as complicated as it is when you are dealing with a famine in Sudan or in Somalia. You do not have all the element in your hand. But when it is as fabricated as it is in Gaza, only a political will, political decision can end this madness.
Can you shed some light on Israel's attacks of UNRWA?
More than 370 colleagues who have been killed. There might be even more because of the major military offensive taking place right now in Gaza.
Do you feel less political pressure?
We still have 12,000 staff. They are still on a daily basis and against all odds providing health services.
Especially when it comes to opposition to UNRWA.
Our staff basically share exactly the same plight than anyone else in Gaza. Our staff have been hungry. Our staff are constantly displaced. Our staff have lost a relative, have seen their children injured or killed. We had even staff who, while walking, fainted because they haven't eaten. And I believe that when the front workers, humanitarian front workers, start to be in this shape, it's also the beginning of the collapse of the broader humanitarian response. We are daily in contact with them. Communication, telecommunication still function. There have been just some suspension temporarily in some area, but fortunately that's not yet fully the case. But the point is, you cannot really protect the staff because we cannot protect the population right now as long this operation continue.
Lazzarini, thanks so much.
Thank you.